Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and joining me today is my co-host, Tim Morris.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Well, I'm doing good. Ready for this busy episode. We got a lot going on.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are minus one co-host, so hopefully we see Jamie back. I think he was going to Atlantis or something like that.
J Dubs is on one of his many adventures, which is probably filled with protein shakes and multivitamins and a lot of exercise. So we'll see you when you get back.
See we get back hopefully soon, my friend. And yeah, we had quite a busy pre-show. We talked about how Oscar Isaac is in talks to come back for Moon Knight season 2. We talked about how Henry Cavill is back as Superman, and then we had some unfortunate news about the passings of voice artist Michael Capsa and comic book artist Carlos Pacheco. So may they rest in peace. And so we did talk about it more on the pre-show because we have a lot of comic news since we had missed the past couple of weeks. As we talked about in the pre-show, a lot of stuff can happen and can push things off. Like you said, how yesterday there was a fire in Tim's apartment. So
not in my apartment, my cousin's apartment.
The apartment, building though. I thought.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So we talked about that more in the pre-show. Basically, long story short, Tim saved a dog.
Yes, the dog. So, absolutely. The kids were already out by the time I went back up for the dog. Watch the pre-show, you'll see.
Yeah, so the kids are good, but Tim saved the dog, so good job, Tim. And now we can move on to our show because we have a lot of comic book news.
Yeah.
And we'll start with some big comic book news, and that is that James Gunn is taking over the DC film division. He's taking over film, TV, and animation division, and that is huge.
That is enormous.
Yeah, I mean, with James Gunn taking over, we're going to see the DC universe. It's going to change. Definitely the movies. I mean, he did a great job with the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, with Peacemaker, the show, and they were both popular too. Like, not only were they good, but they were popular. And I think, DC's been missing something. Even though they've been having some pretty good movies, it seems like they really haven't been able to compete with Marvel. Even just a lot of people say, oh, superhero movies. They don't even say DC or Marvel. They say, oh, Marvel movies. Do you like Marvel movies? I think with James Gunn taking this big part in the DC films, we're going to start to see more of a competition between the two. I think we're going to see a lot better movies and shows from DC.
I agree with that to a point. If you go back maybe a couple of days, like James Gunn and his collaborator, Peter, I cannot remember his last name, but them two are doing it together. They're co-heads of DC Universe, which is film, television, animation, all of that stuff. The one gentleman is running the business aspect of it, while James Gunn is running the creative aspect of it, which I think is perfect. So you don't have one person focusing on it all. You've got two people that have split the responsibilities, and they both have worked together for 20 plus years. So they're they're very comfortable with each other. They know how to play off each other, work with each other, and all that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is James Gunn said that they are focusing on the story going forward. So from Black Adam forward, that's what they're focusing on. And who said it? Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He said this when someone asked him if we could see a healthy competition between Marvel and DC. And he agreed to a point, but I think he said something more along the lines of, we can't be Marvel. Nobody can be Marvel. We want to be DC. We want to produce quality DC content that our fans can enjoy, that all comic book fans can enjoy. And Sonny, you and I can both agree that is, when it gets down to it, that is exactly what we want. And it's
great way to look at it.
Movies on both sides. Both of them make wonderful things. You have the people that cannot be pleased, but they are outliers compared to everybody else. And like one of our commenters says, continuity is important. And I agree with that. And that is, I think, something that DC has seriously lacked with the previous films.
Yeah, so hopefully we start to see them connecting more. Yeah, so hopefully we see DC take a direction upwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
The DC do a lot better, because we know that they can do a lot better. I mean, like I said, we have some of the best superheroes in DC, some of the best storylines ever in DC. So it's time they get some more much deserved respect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's well overdue.
Yeah. Well, since we're on the topic of DC, there's some news on a DC show. I wish Jamie was here so he can talk about this too, because I'm sure he's going to be very happy about the news you're going to tell us, Tim.
Yes. So the Green Lantern HBO Max show is going to shift focus to John Stewart instead of Hal Jordan. This article is from Screen Rant, and it is written by Mitch Irwin. And he goes on to say the much anticipated HBO Max show for Green Lantern Corps is set to refocus its attention on a different member of the Green Lantern Corps, namely John Stewart. Initially, the series was set to focus on a lesser-known Green Lanterns than Stewart, but the show, which was announced in 2019, was under a veil of uncertainty due to the sudden cancellations of films like Batgirl and, thankfully, the Wonder Twins. However, according to HBO Max, the show is still very much in active development. So, with that being said, I'm pretty excited about that. I think that saving Hal for something a little bit bigger, if that's what they're going with, is a greater idea. Give John Stewart the platform for the HBO Max show and put focus on another Green Lantern. Let people see that there are other Green Lanterns. I mean, comic book fans, we already know there's a billion of them. But for the people that don't know, let them get used to somebody else for a change. I see no problems with this whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm fine with being John Stewart. I think maybe my pick, like you said, if to save Hal for something bigger, like the bigger films, maybe I would have picked like Kyle Rayner to be the lead. But John Stewart, I like John Stewart too, so I'm not gonna.
I do too. He was the first Green Lantern I was ever introduced to. He's not my favorite, but he's not my least favorite. He's like right there in the middle.
Yeah, and I have a comic, and I hope the squirrel. Why do I forget the squirrel's name? The squirrel Green Lantern. I have a comic, and it is John Stewart and and Gennard, them together. So hopefully, I see an episode of that.
That would be amazing.
John Stewart and Gennard, and then I can show you the comic I have and say now it's worth a lot of money.
Now you can retire. Retirement early. Absolutely.
Now I can retire from that comic I got when I was like 4 years old.
Well, Sonny, what happened to something that maybe a 4-year-old would have liked?
Yes, so there's news that Pope 716 Coffee and Comics has a comic book jar. Has a jar, and this jar is buy a kid a comic jar. So basically, anybody can put in some money, and eventually that money is used to buy a kid a comic book, their first comic book.
Yeah.
Since it's a coffee and comics place, sometimes they said they'd see the owner said they'd see let's say a kid, and the kid is maybe looking at comics, and the parent says, "No, we don't have the money for that." That's when the jar comes in handy, and they would tell them, "Okay, you get a comic book, just you got to count it out." So they got to do some math, and they said, "Yeah, these kids they were getting comic books, so great, right? Everything is going really good until some jerk steals the buy a kid a comic jar." And like how could it be so low? Well, somebody was low. They stole the comic jar. They stole the buy a kid a comic jar, and then it was put online that the jar was stolen. But then the comic community has come together and has really put their money together, and everyone has raised a lot of money for this jar, and they've made a lot more money than they were making before. And even writers Tom Taylor and Jordan Blum got involved with it as well.
Wow.
And so at least it's it started off bad with the jar being stolen, but the world got to see that we have a great comic community, and the people in this community stick together.
As much as we hate ourselves, we hate kids not having comics in their hands.
Those kids, no matter what we got going on, we need to make sure that the comics are going, that kids are reading,
that's right.
The characters we love, that they continue on, and they will be passed on generations, that the generations long after we're gone, characters like Superman and Batman and X-Men, they will still be around. even
Yeah.
after we're gone. And I did have something that Jordan Blum said. He said, most of the stores I went to sold me comics, but they also became a safe haven for kids like me. They helped cultivate my interests, led me to stories I never would have found on my own, and created a space where I felt I could let my true self breathe. I still get that feeling every Wednesday. I immediately feel most myself when I walk through those doors. I still get giddy walking the new releases wall, knowing I might stumble upon a whole new world or characters that will speak to me. And here's the part I really like. At the end, he says, comics are magic, and retailers are the keepers of that magic.
That is
And I
true.
must
That is
agree.
very true. Absolutely. Here's my opinion on this whole thing. If you're that down and out, right, and you have to resort to stealing the tip jar or stealing the buy a kid a comic jar, stop for a second and just ask yourself if it really is worth that much effort, right?
Yeah.
If your ego is so inflated, and this is just speculation on my part, if your ego is so inflated that you can't ask for help, or your pride is so high that you can't ask for help, you need to reevaluate that, and you need to humble yourself, and you need to ask for help. It is okay to do so. On the other end, if you stole that just to be a jerk and just to have a couple extra bucks, shame on you. That is absolutely horrible to do. There's a reason why that jar is there, and you taking that from those kids is terrible. The whole point of that jar is for kids to be able to get comic books, right? Kids that either can't get them, aren't able to get them, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And that jar is there for a reason. And you taking that jar not only gave whoever you are international media coverage, but the entire comic book community came together and are now doing awesome things to fix the damage that you caused. Shame on you. You really need to think about that. Whatever you bought with that, I hope it was worth it. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah. Do not mess with us comic book lovers. We will come together when the time comes.
That's
When
right.
need be, we stick together.
That's exactly correct.
And speaking of sticking together, there's another team that sticks together that I don't know much about, but I heard they're coming back to the MCU. Tim, you tell us about them?
So this is from our favorite scooper website, Giant Freaking Robot. And this says it's exclusive. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This was written by Nathan Kamal. Now, he goes on to say the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back to Marvel in a currently unspecified project. According to our trusted
sources.
Trusted and proven, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige is bringing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into mainstream Marvel Cinematic Universe continuity, fully establishing them as part of that world. The question of whether or not the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually exist in the same universe as the movies has always been a little bit up in the air, but presumably this will now fully incorporate them into the MCU. I agree with that. Their continuity inside the MCU has always been kind of shaky. But, you know, during the course of the series, you saw Nick Fury, you saw, Thor's wannabe girlfriend. I can't remember her name. And several other characters that were in there. So it fit in a sense, but it didn't in the other sense. And like Deathlock was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Ghost Rider was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and other characters too that were never referenced anywhere in the MCU. And from my understanding, while the main MCU was going on, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was going on underneath. So kind of parallel. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not one way or the other on this. It doesn't make that much of a difference to me if the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are brought into the MCU proper or not. I don't think it's going to make any major waves, but it would be cool to see.
Yeah, I really wasn't too excited about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then right now you just said that Ghost Rider and Deathlock were in their episodes, so I need to...
Deathlock was in first season, if I'm not mistaken.
So I need to look it up and see how they did. Do they look Does it look like Deathlock or like a
From what
character
I
from the old
remember,
Marvel?
the Deathlock version that they used in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, I think it was like part of the season 1 storyline, or at least several episodes. And though he didn't look exactly like Deathlock, he was there. Now, as far as Ghost Rider, that was I can't remember the character's name, but it's the Ghost Rider that drives the car. And he was in the show, and he looked fantastic. Looked amazing.
Tim, I was never interested in the show. Now I'm very interested to check it out because of that. Like, okay, you know, maybe I wasn't giving it a chance. Maybe I should.
There's lots of good stuff in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I never disliked it. It's a show I fell off from, but I think the first 2-3 seasons I was there for every episode, and it was good, real good.
Well, it sounds like they should have done a better job advertising because the pictures are just the shit. You know, look like nobody exciting. Now, you know, maybe they threw Ghost Rider or Deathlock in the picture that would have caught my eye.
Well, there you go. Now you got something to watch. You can watch it on Disney Plus.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. All right. So there you go. A nice little surprise for me. But let's get into something that I think did a very good job of promoting itself in the trailer, and that is the one we saw for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Tim, do you want to tell us about the trailer?
Yeah. So if you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania trailer, it is something you definitely need to go check out. It looks absolutely fantastic. God, it's been a minute since I've seen it, but what were they doing? They were talking about like new suit design and things like
Going
that in the beginning.
The daughter makes the
Yeah,
thing to go into the
yeah,
quantum realm.
and then and the beacon in the quantum realm, and then the original Wasp is like, you need to turn that off. You need to turn that off right now. Why? What's going on? What's the matter? And then the movie starts taking place. Kang is in it though, and he looks fantastic. The whole premise looks amazing, and I'm gonna make a call right now. I have a feeling that we may see, or at least see, the planting of the seeds for Molecule Man.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good
in
prediction.
in the Secret Wars story that came out a couple of years ago, Molecule Man is a major part of that. So, guys, when you go
Even
watch
the original was
Quantumania,
pretty big.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think they're going to start sowing the seeds for Molecule Man, things like that.
Nice. Well, that's a good prediction. We will see. And then, you know, if it happens, we'll remember, hey, episode 60 of the Codex podcast, Tim called it.
You
But
heard it
yeah,
here first.
man, like you said, King, he looks great. I was really happy with the way he looked. I mean, and I think, like, with the character of King, there's so much you can do. Like, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
I think Loki at the end of the season dropped the ball with him because it was just like him talking for like 10 minutes straight.
Well,
And I was expecting so much more.
that version of Kang, though, I think had lost his mind from sitting there trying to keep everything together. And what did he say? He said something along the lines of, "There's worse versions of me out there than me." And
Yeah. I think this movie we're gonna see the different versions.
yeah,
So even just in the trailer, you could tell some he looks like he has kind of the marks, and then some of them he looks like the blue, the king that we see in the comic books.
yeah.
Like I said, they could do so much with him. They can make this a really great movie, and I hope it is. I think it looks really good.
I have been
So,
pleasantly surprised with Ant-Man since the first movie. I loved Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is going to
yeah,
be no different.
yeah, and it comes out February 17th, so a
Yeah.
little bit after Valentine's Day.
Right on.
You know,
Looks like I'm going to go on a date with myself and see it.
there you go. At least your date won't be annoying you. You know, they won't be too loud.
Nope, they'll be quiet through the whole movie.
And at least my Maria, she's very, very quiet. She does not interrupt me during movies, but I can't say the same for everybody else in the theater.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Everybody else, be courteous, be quiet, turn your phones off, keep your mouth shut, watch a movie, enjoy yourself.
Yes. And one time, not too long ago, when I saw the Lion King, the live action Lion King, there was somebody next to me and they were snoring. And yeah, I was about
The
to like
movie
hit their
wasn't that bad,
seat.
guys.
It was in the previews. They were snoring already before it started, and then eventually his significant other kept like, wake up, wake up, wake up. So I don't
I'm
want
gonna,
that anymore.
I'm gonna
I don't
tell
want
you a
that.
story about falling asleep at a movie theater once. There was this. I was young. I think I was 19, and there was this girl that I really liked, and finally got her to go on a date with me. We went to go see X-Files when it came out, and I worked overnights and was very, very tired. And we went in to see the movie. We were both excited, happy, ready to go, and I fell asleep about 10 minutes in and woke up at the end credits with her walking away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was not a good day.
I was gonna say you mentioned the aftermath of the date.
What is the movie over? Oh, there she goes. Okay, all right, I understand.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, I loved it.
Wonderful, amazing movie. Yeah, do
Yeah.
you remember that part? No, you were sleeping. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't fall asleep in the theater or at movies. That's why you can watch them at home, you know.
Well, tell us about something that we are going to get to watch at home, Sonny.
Oh yes, and it is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special that comes out November 25th. So we don't have to wait too long for it.
Nope.
We got 2 weeks in a day, 15 days away, and yeah. So we saw the trailer. I think it looks fun. It is one of those Marvel Holiday Special, so it should be somewhere around 50 minutes to 55 minutes.
Kevin Bacon.
And yes, I really so it is. So for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, it is about Christmas is coming up, and obviously Star-Lord is upset. So Mantis and Drax, I almost said Batista.
Well,
Mantis,
you wouldn't be wrong.
yeah. Mantis and Drax, they say, oh, hey, we'll find somebody to cheer him up. Kevin Bacon. And yeah, so it looks like they're a little fun. Like I said, 50 to 55-minute story. They're trying to get Kevin Bacon and they're chasing him and he's running around. And I liked in the credits when it's saying, like, starring Star-Lord, Mantis, Drax, Groot, everybody. And it says, introducing Kevin Bacon. Like he's a new person. Nobody knows the like introducing Kevin Bacon.
This is
like
wonderful. I'm very excited this is coming out, but I'm also slightly sad because after the holiday special, we have Guardians Volume 3 and then no more James Gunn in the MCU. So I'm sad to see him leave when that happens, but I'm happy to see what he does with what we talked about before, with him being in the DCU.
Yeah, and actually, I forgot to mention it earlier. There's rumors, I don't know how true this is, but that he's already been trying to talk to studios at Marvel, trying to talk about a DC Marvel crossover.
I have heard about that.
Yeah. Imagine a DC versus Marvel movie.
Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, man. Superman versus the Hulk, Batman versus Captain America, Thor versus Shazam.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And of course, they would change certain things up now. Like I said, hey, like in the one shot when I talked to Ron Mars, he said certain things, more characters have become popular, like Black Panther, Iron Man, Harley Quinn, Deadpool. So,
oh yeah, see Harley Quinn go against Black Widow or Black Widow's sister, the White Widow, and that'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, man, so much they can do. I wonder which Joker they'd use. The Joker versus Moon Knight.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. That'd be wonderful.
Just to have Jamie truly on the edge of his seat. Oh man.
You know what else is good news though?
Some wondrous news?
Some wonderfully amazing news. The casting of Wonder Man. So this, once again, comes from ScreenRant.com, and this was written by Cooper Hood. Marvel reportedly casts Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as MCU's Wonder Man. I think since this was published, it is confirmed. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this has had a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah. So it is definitely confirmed that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is the lead of Wonder Man. And if the name doesn't sound familiar, the movies he's been in will, and one in particular is he was Black Manta in Aquaman. So yeah, go back and watch that, see how he performs there, and then go into speculation on how you think he'll do with Wonder Man. So this goes on to say the Marvel Cinematic Universe has expanded significantly over the last few years thanks to Disney's streaming service. And on top of giving supporting characters a chance to lead solo projects, Marvel Studios has also used Disney Plus to give new heroes like Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk solo shows from the beginning. And it's well known that there are plans for many other MCU properties to be on Disney Plus that are focused on yet to be introduced heroes like Nova. But this, Simon Williams, actor extraordinaire, is now going to be in the MCU proper on a show on Disney Plus, and I am beyond excited for this. I think Wonder Man is a highly underutilized character, and as far as like what some people have been complaining about, like color casting and things like that, here's my take on that. Wonder Man, the character himself, I don't think requires any particular skin tone. This is the type of character that anybody can play. And I think with the choice that they have with Yaya to play Simon Williams, I think that is a wonderful decision. And I am beyond excited to see what he can do. So
yeah, because like I said, yeah, that's been the complaint. Some people say, oh, he's black, or the character Wonder Man is white. But the main thing I want to see, like, like I see something like, oh, maybe a Henry Cavill has the look, but obviously he's playing Superman. But
yeah,
I'd rather have somebody who, they say, maybe doesn't look like the character in the comics, but could bring more of their personality onto the screen and do a good job like that. That means more to me than the look. So
now
that's the thing,
I will admit I'm a little sad to not be able to see Nathan filling in as Wonder Man.
There was
But
a lot of people complaining. They were saying,
yeah,
that was the
but
aim.
the guys, you have to understand that man's getting older. And Wonder Man, actor, West Coast Avenger, Avengers Reserve, D-list character. The actor that they have chosen, Yaya, is going to be perfect for this. He's going to do a great job. And all of you that are complaining are still going to watch the show. You're still going to be there for premiere night, and you're going to watch this show all the way through and complain about it the whole time. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so that's me. I just want to see him do the part, play the, bring the character's spirit pretty much to life.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing that counts to me. And, I'd like to see some story arcs like that were in the comic books, like, oh, in the show, things like that. I'm not so like, oh my gosh, he looks so different.
But see, with Wonder Man coming in, him and Beast are best friends. So maybe when the X-Men are introduced, we can see that
combo.
Yeah.
And then like you said, the age thing is a big thing, because obviously I don't want Wonder Man to be around for one season and then we never see the character again. I want to see the character around for a long time. So with Yaya playing him, hopefully he's able to keep the character going.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think this will finally give Wonder Man some of the spotlight that he deserves. Like I said, he's a very unknown character. Yeah, he deserves it. Yeah, so I like Wonder Man, and I hope the show is a great one.
Yeah.
Do they have any release date yet, or somewhere around?
I can take a peek in there real quick, but I don't think that there is going to be a release date. At least not anything that I can see. Nothing that I can find so far. I would expect Wonder Man to come within the next 2 years. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, I would say either late next year or like 2024, because they already have a lot going on. And we'll keep everybody updated. We'll have more updates as time goes on, when there's trailers, more characters are announced, things like that.
Yes, Kristen, I know the title on Facebook is very wrong, but there's nothing I can do about that.
What is our title on Facebook right now?
It should be Trend Following Yuppies Armor Wars. That's what it should be.
Oh man.
If it's not, then it's the After Dark one. So maybe that's why somebody said, I don't see Jamie, Sal, or Wes on here.
No.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
You've been fooled. This is the Codex Podcast, episode 60.
What a bamboozle.
Yeah, so you've been fooled. Yeah. But you know what is... hey, you get fooled, but you know what's worse than being fooled? Being murdered.
Yes.
So let's talk about Murderworld. Now, we've been talking about movies, shows, so let's talk about actual comic books for a little while. And there is a new story arc that is starting. It is called Murderworld. It's with the character Arcade, most known for being an X-Men, but yes, he's appeared in other comic books as well. And this will be starting November 16th, and it will start with Murderworld Avengers. It will have 5 parts. And yeah, we'll see Arcade and his Murderworld. We'll have the Avengers in there, and Spider-Man will be in there. Moon Knight will be in there, and Wolverine. And then the final issue will be called Murderworld Game Over. And that's set to come out March 1st. So for the next 5 months, there will be a 5-part story of Murderworld, and each issue will be written by Jim Zub and Ray Fox. And the artists for each issue will be different, though.
Oh,
The
okay.
writers the same, artists different. Yeah, I think this would be a good, fun comic. I mean, Murderworld, there's so much you can do with it. There's so much fun. I always found those issues of X-Men to be very fun. A lot of action, you know.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I wonder, yeah. Arcade is maybe not like the he's not a big villain like Doctor Doom or anything like that. More like a D-list villain. But
he's on the level with Stiltman.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. He's right there with Stiltman.
Yeah.
We talked about later in Armor Wars, but yeah, so Arcade not too big of a character, and even too once in a while when I'd say like, okay, let me look for give my a nephew of mine a gift or something. I'm looking for superhero toys. His is the toy that's like the least amount of money. Every other toy is like 25.
We don't
Arcade's
have
like
money
10.
for Captain America, buddy. What about Arcade? Who is that? Trust me, you'll like him. He's good.
You can just beat him up, you know. You just use him as the guy who gets beat up, thrown against the wall.
Oh my god!
But I think Murderworld, like I said, has always been interesting to me. So I think this should be a fun story arc.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Arcade is one of my favorite F-list villains. Like I think the last major thing he did was in the 80s. Is that right? Something like that, or early 80s? Yeah, fighting Spider-Man in the X-Men. Well, he had a Super Nintendo game that he was the villain in, Arcade's Revenge, Spider-Man and the X-Men. So there you go. Yeah, I am very curious to see how Arcade is able to capture the Avengers and Spider-Man and Wolverine and all these guys.
Yes.
I'm very curious to see what they come up with for that. Like you said, Sonny, this is going to be something fun to read. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully. And hopefully it doesn't take itself too serious.
Yeah, because like I said, when it comes to Arcade and Murderworld, you just got to have fun with it.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have a blast.
Yeah, and hopefully we see Arcade get blasted and really beat up at the end and sent
you
back.
Wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Imagine if he used that, or you wouldn't hit a guy with red hair. Maybe he'd use that one.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. I'd do that.
Yeah. So that's Murderworld. The first issue comes out November 16th, and that is something we might be on the hunt for. So that brings us to On the Hunt. And a little while ago, I was looking on eBay and I found this amazing Spider-Man #1, slab with the Goblin Queen on there. And I'm like, I want a slab. So I bid on it. I thought I was going to get a pretty good deal. And then, I lost. And then suddenly
you got sniped.
I got beat. Somebody beat me. And I look on Instagram of our very own sale. And I see that he's showing it. I'm like, did you just get it on eBay? And he said, yes. So the slab guy beat me in the bid. And now I'm on the hunt for a slab, for a CGC cover.
Bid you out.
I want a deal. I don't want to pay a lot of money. I want just cater to me, everybody. Just get out of my way. Let me do a nice bid and spend $20 or $30 and get
Sonny's coming in to bid. We need to stop.
Yeah,
but it's an amazing Spider-Man #1. No. It's Sonny.
Yeah, it's mine.
Just let him
cater to me.
You don't want none of this.
Yeah, so just cater to me so I can complete my On the Hunt.
Sonny, I got a couple eBay sellers that I follow that have some pretty good deals on graded books. I will send that your way so you can take a peek at them.
Thank you. I will definitely do that. Like I said, I'm on the hunt for a CGC. And one thing I want to mention before moving on is I see online people talk about getting so many good deals at yard sales. Have you ever gotten a good deal at a yard sale for a comic book?
Not at a yard sale, but I did at a secondhand store, and that's part of what I'm going to show today for On the Hunt. So
nice. Yeah, I was to say I see online in our groups, comic character of the day, things people post. Oh, I got this at a yard sale. I'm like, where are these yard sales? Because I live in Chicago, and the yard sales I see,
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm like, I just see used clothes, a couple paintings, and baby toys. I'm like,
from what I've seen and from what I've been through, I've been to plenty of yard sales that some have comics and some don't. Sometimes the people that have comics think that they have gold wrapped in aluminum foil, and that is entirely not the case, and they try and sell them for super duper large amounts so they can retire and go to a deserted island. Yeah, no. And then there's other people that are just trying to get rid of books, old estate sales and stuff like that. It's hit and miss, guys. You just got to look around. Secondhand stores, antique stores, those are my favorite places to go because people set up comic booths. My friend Wes, Rebel Scum, he's been on After Dark a couple of times. He's got a comic booth set up at an antique store. And that's awesome to go to. You find all kinds of things there, guys. You just got to look. You got to take the time to sniff around and take a peek and lower your standards just a little bit. You're not going to find minty fresh, amazing Spider-Man #1s, but you are going to find some pretty cool things if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. And don't be like me and expect that everybody's just going to get out of your way for it, because it's not the best way to get these rare comic books. Don't expect it. It's just going to be waiting and no one's going to want it.
Yeah, no, you're not going to find an Incredible Hulk 181 for 25 cents at an antique store. It just ain't going to happen.
Maybe at that yard sale. Like, remember that short story I wrote, the comic book? Where, you can read the comic book. That's the writer on Wattpad, and that is where, like I said, I hope that it would be going to a yard sale and just seeing a super rare comic, and the person doesn't even realize, oh, okay, I'll sell it for $20.
Done. Here you go.
Wouldn't that be nice? To, like,
I'll give you an extra 20.
That Hulk 181. I'll give you fine $20 whole for this.
Well, Sonny, if you don't mind, I'd like to show you what I've been on the hunt for.
You've been on the hunt for, Tim.
So, like I said, went to my buddy Wes's booth in the antique store just outside of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in that area, go check it out. We'll put a name in the description down below. But yeah, awesome stuff. Went to his booth and found some coolness that I think you and Jamie might be interested in. Jamie, maybe a little bit more so. You ready?
All right. I'm guessing it's Green Lantern now. There you go.
What storyline is that, Sonny?
Emerald Twilight. Is that issue number 2? This is the second
part
one, right?
2.
Part 2. Nice.
So this is the iconic Daryl Banks cover. This is absolutely gorgeous. And if you didn't know, we got to sit down and talk with the man for quite a while. Go check that out.
Yes, definitely. Check that out.
But we're not done. Let's go ahead and continue that with Green Lantern number 50.
3.
Another wonderful, iconic cover.
That whole story was amazing. Just 3 issues, and every issue just incredible.
It's a great story. But let's go ahead and top it off with the start of the all-new Green Lantern.
There he is.
Yeah.
What issue is that?
That's 51. This is the first cover appearance of Kyle Rayner. First appearance was back in issue number 50. This is the first time he appears on the cover.
I forgot, because I have it in the trade paperback form. So.
Yep. So we're not done. As you guys know, I am super into getting as many of the Uncanny X-Men issues as I can. Got another one in the mail the other day. And I got 3 in the mail. 186, which is a Barry Windsor Smith cover. Doesn't look very good, so I'm not going to show it. And another was 259. It's a Mark Silvestri cover with Colossus in his human form. Not spectacular, so I'm not going to show that either. But I am going to show you Uncanny 277.
That's an awesome one.
This one is absolutely fantastic, and I do believe it is newsstand too, which makes it even better. Yeah, beautiful Jim Lee cover, absolutely gorgeous.
I got that one somewhere in the comics around, because that issue's not involved in any Epic collection, so that one I just had to get the.
I don't know why the cover is epic enough, but another store in Knoxville, Tennessee, it's called McKay's. Don't ever go there because you won't like the prices of the comics. Only I do, so just stay away from there. But I was able to find first appearance of Bloodsport, the guy that shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet.
I've looked for that one a couple times on eBay, thinking I would get a
nice deal. This for $1.
Wow, I thought you said the place overpriced. That's
Yeah, they're
Awesome price
overpriced,
for that
ladies and
one.
gentlemen. You can't afford any of these comics, so don't ever go there. Only I can go there. Nobody else can.
Yes, that is a steal, man. Yeah, $1.
And yeah, for a buck, as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. I was like, yeah, that's coming home with me today. But then there's another store in the town I live in called Oak Ridge. I go all over the place, guys, and it's all within a 20-minute radius. So I'm not spending a lot of gas, not spending a lot of time driving. But I did find two things that are pretty awesome. One is a cameo, and the other is a personal grail of mine. I'll show you the cameo first. This is the cameo appearance, first cameo of Taskmaster. This is Avengers number 195.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks absolutely wonderful. It's a nice copy. It's not minty fresh by any means, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. The color on here, the artwork is outstanding. Like the detail and everything, like right in here in this machinery and stuff. Guys,
Actually,
it's
who is the woman on the cover? Like, I can see like
that is the Wasp.
oh, okay. Because I'm wondering, like, what is with the outfit? Why is one leg showing?
That's a good question. Maybe she's from the West Coast. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you know,
But
it was old comics. See, we don't have to
featuring
explain it.
yeah, featuring Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket, and the Wasp together for the first time, not the last time. And that's Scott Lang as Ant-Man too. So, but here's my one of my own personal grails. Shadowhawk has been a favorite of mine since his debut in Image Comics. Jim Valentino created the character, one of the initial title releases for the debut of Image. But Shadowhawk did not first appear in his own book. He first appeared in Youngblood number 2, and I was able to get one for $2. And there it is. It looks absolutely wonderful.
You know, you love your Youngblood, Tim.
I do. As soon as I saw it, I didn't care that it was Shadowhawk. I was like, Youngblood number 2.
Youngblood, buy it.
I don't have you yet, but I'm gonna get you. This is also the first appearance of Prophet, ladies and gentlemen, if you're into that sort of thing.
I'm sure it's the first appearance of like 20 more other characters.
Yeah, exactly. But now, after On the Hunt, thank you, Sonny, for letting me do that this week. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Always fun.
Let's go on to a mail call, shall we? And
shall I say it? Mail call for Tim.
There we go. Thank you. So, guys, my friend, once again, Wes, excuse me, he was kind enough to let me send off 3 of my comic books from my personal collection to get graded when he sent off a group to CGC. He got them in the mail today, and I met him probably about 2 hours ago to get these books, and his wife put them in envelopes. And Wes doesn't know what grades they are. I have no idea what grades they are. We're going to unveil them right here, right now on the Codex podcast for everybody to see. And hopefully there's something awesome. If they're not, I'm still going to be extremely happy just for the simple fact of having them graded.
You can send them my way if you don't like them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Sonny. But
anything lower than an 8, you got to send my way. Deal?
Anything lower than an 8, I'll send you your way. Come on, 9.8. That's right. That's what we're looking for. So, okay. So, first one is Poison Ivy. This is Poison Ivy number 1. This is the Graham Crackers variant. This is the Virgin variant. And Graham Crackers from Chicago, Sonny. So, I haven't looked at this yet. So, we're going to take a peek right now. And what do you know? What do you think, Sonny?
9.8.
9.8.
Nice.
Absolutely fantastic. I am extremely excited about this. This is a Virgin variant, 9.8, ladies and gentlemen.
Good job.
Way to go. Yeah, good job, CGC. Way to go. Next is Lady Death Between Heaven and Hell, number 1. This I got on an eBay auction for $1. None of these books I sent in to be pressed or anything like that. They were just sent in as is, right? And these have been sitting in my collection since I bought them. Well, the Virgin variant Poison Ivy was a gift from my invisible friend Nick, who I went to go see Rammstein with in Chicago. So yeah, Nick, thank you for that, and I'll take pictures and send them to you. But Lady Death,
Wow, he's invisible. That's cool.
Yeah, it's my invisible friend. But Lady Death Between Heaven and Hell, #1. This is the chromium cover. Let's take a look. Sonny, what do you think? I haven't looked at it yet. So what do you think?
9.3.
You are fired. 9.3. I'm going to go with a 9.8. I was hoping for a 9.9 or a 10, but I know those are absolute unicorns. So let's take a peek, shall we? Okay, Lady Death 2 Between Heaven and Hell #1 comes back at a 9.6. 9.6. Yeah, it is a wonderful cover, and the grade I am extremely happy with. A 9.6. I honestly thought that would come back as a 9.8, but I'm okay with the fact that it didn't.
9.6 is good, yeah.
Absolutely, it's gorgeous. So yeah, and it's limited edition too. So there you go. Now let's move on. Still great grade. Absolutely, it's a wonderful grade, one I'm very happy with. Now let's move on to personal book of mine. This is Spider-Man #1. This is the silver edition from when McFarlane took the series, you know, the adjectiveless Spider-Man, did his own thing for 14, 15 issues. And this is #1 silver edition. I have had this in my personal collection since I was a kid. And I think I may have thumbed through it once or twice, but always was so careful, so particular about how I turn them pages. But beyond that, this thing has been sitting in my collection since then, never to be removed until I put it in this stack to send off to Wes, or with Wes to get graded for CGC. So, Sonny, what is your thoughts? What do you think this is going to turn out to be? Wes and I already talked about this earlier today too, and I'll tell you what him and I
9.3.
9.3. Okay. Wes and I talked, and I thought that with this book, in my personal collection, it was going to come back between a 9.2 and a 9.4. And Wes and I were pretty confident that that is what it was going to be. So are you ready for the reveal? Let's see what it is. Okay. So no, sir. This is not a 6. This is not a 2, and it is not a 4. This, believe it or not, and I really can't. 9.8.
Ooh,
that is absolutely amazing.
It is.
I was not expecting that to come back at a 9.8 at all. I want to cuss a lot right now, but I can't because this is a family program.
You can put it on mute and then just swear and we'll see your lips.
Son of a mother trucker. It's unreal. It is absolutely unreal to look at this book. Yes, awesome, well done, absolutely. To look at this book and just see that something that I took very well care of in my personal collection for years. This came off the shelf, so this was bought at a comic store. And it's a direct, and to know that I took care of it that much, that well, to have it come back at a 9.8, that is absolutely beautiful. Okay.
For those of you who are just listening and can't see this, Tim is crying right now. He's crying of joy right now.
I'm blown away. Holy cow. So 2 9.8s and a 9.6. I am extremely satisfied with the way that those books came back.
That is amazing. Or maybe even spectacular.
Webtastic. Yes. All of it.
But that is the good thing about doing mail calls live. And
I think this is the first live mail call we've done.
A long time ago, I used to.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Maybe.
I
Well,
don't know.
sometimes when I used to do the more with the videos, I'll try to do those live.
There you go. Well, either way, this is amazing. This is wonderful. Wes, if you're watching, we're gonna get together. I've already got 2 other books that are gonna go out. You want to know what they are, Sonny?
Sure, tell us.
Crisis on Infinite Earths #7. That is the cover with Superman holding Supergirl.
The
Yeah,
legendary one.
I've got one of those going out, and my copy of Uncanny X-Men #266.
Nice. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully, you get some more high 9s.
I'd be very happy with that. Very happy.
All right, well, that's good, man. Well, any more? Does that complete your mail call for today?
Yes, that is it. We're done. Yeah, we're all set.
Well, that's it. 9.8, 9.6, and 9.8.
That is right.
And now, on our busy schedule, we move to our works. And when I'm not getting hit in the face with fake pie on an independent movie called American Schemers, I got to work and did a one-shot. I had a one-shot with Frank June Kim, the author of the West Moon Chronicles. So that is now available. You can check that out on YouTube, and quite a story he had in making his very first comic book. So
I watched the one shot and I knew nothing about that. I know Scout Comics and they've put out some solid stuff so far. And for him to be published by Scout is a phenomenal feat on its own. Congratulations, sir. That's a book I'm going to be checking out.
Yeah, and I did read it that night. I read it. It's very good issue. And I'm excited to continue the story. I did tell him, I said, man, I enjoyed it. I said, my one thing is that I have to wait now for issue #2. But yeah, so that'll be good. And yeah, we'll probably have a chat, a sit down with Frank, because me and him definitely chatted a while after the one shot. So yeah, he was great guy, fun.
Is it a limited series or an ongoing?
It is a limited 3-issue series.
3 issues. Okay, right on.
Yeah. So I had that one shot, and then I did also want to mention what else the Codex is going on. And yes, we do have more shows, and one of them that's more recent is the comic character of the week, and that I've really been enjoying that, and I really like how everybody, Jamie, Sal, Kevin, and Dan they go over the characters. I like when, for instance, I say Black Panther, but they pick out their top 3 favorite covers each of Black Panther, their top 3 story arcs and writers and everything like that for the characters. I've really been enjoying it. So
yeah, guys, if you haven't checked it out, I think there's 7 or 8 episodes out already. Awesome characters that they've already chosen: Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Wonder Woman, Black Adam, Black Panther, and there's more to come. All 4 of those guys are great dudes, and they know their stuff. They know what they're talking about, and they've got a lot of information to give people that may or may not know as much and want to know more. Would you like to know more?
Yeah, that's what it is. Cool. I do like to see that. A lot of times too, I see the issues. Like, oh, I like that one. Oh, I didn't know about that. And then see the story arcs. Like I said, if you're kind of wonder, like, okay, I like this character. What's a good story? They have a lot of good recommendations for you. So I definitely say to check out Comic Character of the Week, which is part of the Codex Station.
That's right, guys. And also, if you go on Facebook for Comic Character of the Day, which is the Facebook group, we are in there. Jamie's in there. Sal is in there. Kristen is in there. Wes, I don't know if you're in there yet, but I'm pretty sure that you are. If you're not, you should be. It is absolutely amazing and wonderful, guys. A great group of people. Very comfortable space to go and talk about comics and characters and have a great time. And our very own Tone Falcone, Tone the sci-fi swordsman, Tone Supa, he's in there too. So yeah, guys, it's awesome.
Yeah, and with that we now move past our works and we get to our topic of the week. And Tim, you came up with this one. Our topic of the week is, what comic character would you invite to Thanksgiving dinner? And I have the top 3 comments from Comic Character of the Day. Let me find them right now on my phone. Okay, we will start off with Rob Spitall, who says, Punisher, so he could visit my neighbors. I had to give that one a love. Rob, I love that comment.
My God. Hey, Frank, you want to go next door real quick and talk to my neighbors? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Guys.
Wow.
And then we also had Daniel Allen Lazarus, who said the Blob. And I I had to comment. I said, you'd need a lot of food.
Nobody'd be able to eat. The Blob would eat everything.
He would. The Blob, yeah, he literally eat everything in like 2 minutes.
Wow.
And then finally we get to our very own Dan Kelly, and he says, She-Hulk would be fun. I know what you're thinking, Dan. Wow.
I know
mean,
what
maybe
he's
it's your
thinking,
personality,
too.
but I know what you're thinking, Dan.
He would have She-Hulk move furniture around.
Yeah.
Help move, do landscaping.
Sure. Okay. Well, that takes care of our top 3 comments of the week. Thank you, everybody, for getting involved, for commenting. And we'll have another topic of the week posted soon on Comic Character of the Day. And, you never know. We may pick your comment to be mentioned on the show.
That's
and
right.
We may rip it apart like I just did right now. But it is always very much appreciated. So now we shall discuss. And Tim, which comic character would you invite over for Thanksgiving dinner?
So I was torn between 2. And I think the one that I chose is the one that ultimately I would want to be there. It was going to be Peter Parker. But I think I would choose Clark Kent, Superman. I would have him come to Thanksgiving dinner. I think it would be awesome and amazing to just sit down and have a conversation with that man and talk to him about a variety of different things, from absolutely nothing to world-changing events, just to get his opinion and how he feels, and to know that I can have a conversation with him and not be judged in one way or another based on anything and everything, and just have a genuine conversation. I would really look forward to that.
I'm sure the Man of Steel would be a very nice person to have over. Yep. So I actually asked my fiance Maria who she would pick, and she actually said Wolverine. She said because he'd be good at cutting the turkey.
That is very true.
So that's what she said. And my pick, I was thinking, and I actually would go with Nightcrawler. I always liked the character of Nightcrawler. He's a very peaceful man. A man like me. He's a man of faith. I think he'd be very nice to have. Just a pleasant person to be around, or a pleasant mutant, whatever you want to call him. A great character, Nightcrawler. And then once we eat, I could say, hey, you know what? Do you mind if we go to the store real quick and get some deals? And he can just bring me there, get the items, bring me to the front of the line, and then within 10 minutes, I did all my Christmas shopping and would be right back at the table.
That's amazing. So that's wonderful.
Nightcrawler.
That's great. That's a good choice. Kurt Wagner would be awesome to have at a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, so that is my pick. So Nightcrawler for me, Superman for you. And again, everybody, thank you for commenting on Comic Character of the Day. We'll have another topic of the week posted within the next few days.
There you go. Look forward to it.
And you know what else I look forward to every week?
Do I know?
Do you know?
I'm ready.
Okay, yeah, so the schedule changed a little bit because we believed that Jamie would be here. So we'll just skip Jamie and go straight to I go first, and then you, then me, then you, then me, then you.
I got your number this week, Sonny, and not just in my phone either.
You didn't even call me when I was asking what was going on yesterday, and I said I'll answer. I was like, Tim, I will answer this time.
So much going on, so much events in one day.
Yes, and now, like I said, so much going on in this episode too.
That's right. Let's do this.
Do you know? Okay, the answer to my first question. No.
Oh, okay, ready. All right, I'm ready to write it down.
Okay, so we are reviewing Iron Man Armor Wars, and we know the character of Spy Master was mentioned. He was the one who stole Iron Man's equipment, right? And it's mentioned that he was killed. Do you know who killed Spy Master?
I am going to say Nick Fury.
You are wrong, my friend.
Of course I am.
It was the character Ghost. In Iron Man issue 220, Ghost and Spy Master teamed up, and when they were trying to escape from Iron Man, Ghost put the portable version of the intangibility circuits on Spy Master and said, I'll help you get away. And as Spy Master was halfway through the wall, Ghost took it away.
Wow.
And said, I'm not helping you. I'm actually killing you. So the wall cut Spymaster in half.
When did this come out?
Iron Man 220, so a little before.
Holy smokes!
Yes.
Not like 5 issues before.
Yeah. So
wow, I'm gonna go back and read that.
Yeah, that was how Spymaster died.
Okay.
Killed by Ghost.
Wow, starting us off on a heavy note, Sonny. Okay, are you ready?
Maybe.
All right, so we are doing Armor Wars, obviously. Armor Wars has to do with Iron Man. Iron Man was the start of the MCU, but we're not talking about the first Iron Man movie. We're going to talk about the second one. So the character of Justin Hammer. Do you know, Sonny, who played Justin Hammer in Iron Man 2?
Oh, can I grab my DVD? Can I grab my Blu-ray real quick?
Negative.
Oh man, let me see. Oh, definitely Elon Musk.
Is that your final answer, sir?
Yes.
That is absolutely and 100% incorrect. The answer is the always talented and amazing Sam Rockwell.
You would know him, and I'm a huge fan of Sam Rockwell.
Dude, he's in everything. My favorite movie that he was in, aside from Iron Man 2, is Galaxy Quest when he was Guy.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And I like to. He's played a lot of good characters. He's played a lot of bad characters, but very well.
Yeah. You have last name Guy. Do I? Man,
I can't. Yeah. For some reason, I really was forgetting Iron Man 2. I know Elon Musk made an appearance in there, though.
Yeah. Take the bird away. No more
random question. Yeah. I can't believe Sam Rockwell. Why did I forget he was in Iron Man 2? What is going on with me?
Well, question number 2.
I need to find an excuse. Okay. But my second question for you. Okay, we were talking about Murderworld today.
Mm-hmm.
And now Murderworld first appeared in Marvel Team Up number 66 in 1978. Do you know who the first 2 superheroes to go to Murderworld?
I actually do. It is Spider-Man and Captain Britain.
You are correct. So there you go. 1 for Tim. You knew that.
I have both of those issues. So yes, I absolutely do know that. And Captain Britain wasn't even in his super awesome costume yet. It was in the red and it had the big lion hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Britain, buddy, you need to go back and change. Yeah. Okay, so question number 2, Sonny. Let's see what you can do. Yep, 1 for me, 0 for you. Question number 2. With Iron Man, not only is Armor Wars a major storyline in the history of the character, but there's also one other storyline that is, I think, even more prominent than Armor Wars is, and it is a major part of Tony Stark as a character. So, Sonny, do you know what issue was the famous Demon in a Bottle storyline?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me the name of it. I was like, Demon in a Bottle.
Nope. What issue number?
Iron Man 166.
No, it is Iron Man number 128.
128.
Yeah.
Dang.
Classic cover, classic storyline. Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta check. Yeah, because they said it's like one. I knew the cover, I knew the name. I thought you were gonna ask the name, but
everybody knows the name. Everybody forgets the issue number.
128. Okay.
128. Yep. All right.
Now we move on to the last round. Okay.
Let's do it.
In Armor Wars, Marcy Pearson is the head of public relations for Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
In Armor Wars, who does Marcy Pearson suggest becomes the new corporate spokesperson for Stark Enterprises?
Rhodey.
Well, you are wrong, my friend. It is actually, she recommends that Bill Cosby.
You know, I'm remembering that specific panel right now.
I have it right here. Want me to read it? Ready?
Go for it.
Marcy Pearson says, as head of public relations, Mr. Stark, might I suggest a new corporate spokesperson? Someone a bit less controversial than Iron Man.
Why
Why don't I contact Bill Cosby's agent?
Wow.
Yes.
That didn't age well.
I was like, wow, this is definitely a product of its time, and I need to use it as a do you know question.
You know, I distinctly remember that panel too, and yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
a bit less controversial than Iron Man, Bill Cosby.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. Question number 3, Sonny. Let's see if you can at least tie it this week.
Yeah.
So, Armor Wars, once again, character that was in there, Crimson Dynamo, wasn't in there until the last, next to last issue of Armor Wars, if I remember right. So, do you know what the first appearance of Crimson Dynamo was?
Let me just go with a random. Let me look at my answers on top of the wall.
Yep, take a look at those real quick.
Oh, definitely Iron Man 166.
That is definitely incorrect. The answer is Tales of Suspense number 46. It came out in October of 1963.
Oh, dang. You should have gave me easier questions.
I should have, but I won't.
I should have got that Sam Rockwell one right. That's one.
I'll should be kicking have
myself
yes.
for that one.
That's your version of the Hal Jordan question.
Yes. So there we go. Do you know is in the books? Tim won. Me.
Tim is a winner.
And now let's go on to reviewing. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we'll move on. We got to be moving fast, so we can't keep talking about other stuff. Okay.
Right. Okay.
We should probably even just scratch that whole segment out for this episode.
Sure.
Yeah. For time wise.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Sorry, guys.
So reviewing, it is time that we review Iron Man Armor Wars. I picked this out a couple of weeks ago, and now Tim is ready to lead us in this discussion.
Yeah. So Armor Wars, guys, Iron Man numbers 225 through 232. Writing goes to Bob Layton and David Michelini. I am pronouncing that wrong. I don't know. Artwork goes to Mark D. Bright and Barry Windsor Smith for the last issue. And inks go to Bob Layton, and colors go to Bob Sharon and Barry Windsor Smith again for the last issue, and letters are to Janice Chang. Yep. Okay, so do you want me to go over story? Because I'm never any good at that. I'll do the best that I can.
If you'd like to just kind of give a quick one through, because it's 8 issues, so we don't have to take.
You're always better at this than I am, guys. I'm gonna massacre this horribly. So our Armor Wars starts off with Tony Stark in the Centurion armor, the red and silver, and from my understanding, he's doing tests for the military. But it comes to find out that some of his tech, unpatented tech, has made its way out into the real world to villains and to other organizations that are not so nice people. And Tony Stark is not too happy about that. Through bits of investigation with his buddy Rhodey, they come to find out that it was Justin Hammer that had gained access to his information and sold it to villains and other people. So Tony Stark is doing everything he can to get that tech back or destroy it in such a way that it cannot be used in the future. And he takes on, he brings on his employee, Iron Man, to do it for him. So it goes on. Each issue goes kind of like an episode in a series. He goes after one armored villain after another. Stiltman, the Beetle, the group of 3 that attacked the
Raiders, right?
The Raiders, yeah, it goes after them.
Yeah, Commander, yeah. So a lot of characters.
Yeah, a ton of armored characters, including Titanium Man and Crimson Dynamo, and even Stingray.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, so for Tony Stark at this point in his career as a superhero, it's kind of uncharacteristic for him to start acting the way that he does, and he's being really aggressive and kind of renegade-ish, going after all of his tech, and he's got that mentality of, I can't let even one person get harmed from this, or I can never forgive myself, I can never live with the guilt, etc., etc. And it just kind of goes through that, and he makes the mistake of going after a fellow hero, which is Stingray, and come to find out that Stingray's tech that came from Tony Stark wasn't stolen by Justin Hammer. And he even went after the guardsmen, suits that he helped create. And even what are the ones that S.H.I.E.L.D had? The Mananoids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manoids or Manoids?
Manoids, I think, and went after them too. I love how Tony Stark was able to pull the wool over Nick Fury's eyes rather quickly. That was amazing. But yeah, so over the course of the series, he's going after particular armored individuals. A lot of people he beats very, very quickly. Some it takes a little bit longer. But eventually, Iron Man becomes kind of like public enemy number one, traitor to the country, traitor to the Avengers, and Tony Stark
out.
Right, yeah, Tony Stark has to do something public, and that is fire Iron Man from Stark Industries, distance himself as far as he can, unbeknownst to them, but known to us. Tony Stark is Iron Man, and the West Coast Avengers are none too happy. Steve Rogers, who makes an appearance, is none too happy. And events that take place in Armor Wars start the fracture of the distance and friendship between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the whole.
Yeah. So check it out, guys, if you haven't read Armor Wars. Personally, I think that this is a great story. Reading it, like I said, feels like episodes from a television show. And this, I can see why Marvel wanted to do this as a series on Disney Plus. This would have been a perfect 8-9 episode series, but doing it as a movie, I think, will work even better. The artwork in this is absolutely fantastic. It stands up to the test of time, and I think it's even better than some of the work done today. I really enjoy the work. It's staple Marvel artwork that you should see in a Marvel comic book. And like I said, it holds up very well even to today's standards. The dialogue, however, is very dated.
We talk about now, do you know? Yeah.
Yeah. The dialogue is very dated, but it still flows nice. The story flows nice and easy. It's a comfortable read. And like I said, each issue reads like an episode. So even if you missed one issue, you're not completely left out of the story, which I enjoyed, because with stories nowadays, if you miss one issue, you're well, I don't even know where I'm at. But I loved seeing the Centurion suit and the reveal of the new Iron Man suit that would take us into the 90s before War Machine. The artwork on that, the whole splash page of just the reveal, the new Iron Man, that suit was absolutely wonderful. That's a suit that I'm used to seeing, and it was good to see its debut here at the end of Armor Wars. So overall, my grade, artwork gets a very, very solid 9 out of 10 from me. I can't praise the artwork enough. It was absolutely wonderful. Colors and inks really add to this. When I do artwork grade, all of that falls into that. So it's all of that stuff working together. And in this whole run, this whole story, all of those guys did wonderful work. And even Barry Windsor Smith's unique art style is perfect for the epilogue that is Armor Wars. So artwork gets a 9 out of 10. Writing, however, gets an 8 out of 10, and that's only because of dated dialogue and stuff like that that really didn't read over too well now. It didn't read over too well back then, but it definitely didn't now. So overall, Armor Wars, Iron Man 225 through 232 gets a very well-deserved 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, now I'll talk about Iron Man Armor Wars. You hit a lot of the key points on the story arc, so you did a good job with that. And
Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I like how each issue he was taking on multiple villains. The ultra tough stilt man.
Yeah, my favorite villain ever.
But I did like that he took on the commander at the end. I thought Commander was going to be one of the last ones he took on. He's a big villain, and yeah, I like I said, the style. Each issue, you get into the story. It was quick to, like I said, if you missed an issue, you can get back into what's going on very fast.
Yep.
And you're using the detonator to quickly get it on, destroy it, and then yeah, how we saw Iron Man, things were getting worse for him as he's doing all these things. Like I said, he had to fire himself, kicked out of the Avengers,
Yep.
and then too, like we're pretty sure Titanium Man did not die, but it's like, oh, he killed him. People thought he killed him.
Yep.
And then too, like I said, the reveal I thought would have been a little bit something. I would have maybe just rather had it been like, oh, he's putting on his original one. Maybe I thought it would have been something bigger. But for me, yeah, I thought it was great. The first issue was longer, so it was
double size.
Double size. I didn't realize that. And it made you feel like I knew reading it, like, okay, this is the beginning of a big story arc. I have the Epic collection, so I read quite a few of the issues before this, and it would seem like, okay, here's an issue, it's fine. Here's a little 3-parter. But with this, I felt, especially with that issue 225, you knew this is something big, and it's definitely, to me, I think one of the best Iron Man. Probably, it is my favorite Iron Man story arc. And like I said, you got to see so many of the villains. You got to see Iron Man. Like, yeah, a lot of action that the other Iron Man comics didn't always have.
Yep.
And yeah, for me, one of the big standout parts was the Captain America issue. And definitely,
and this is when he wasn't Captain America.
Yeah, the Captain.
Yeah.
Yes, so he was the Captain. He was in the black outfit, and
the U.S. agent.
Yes, when Iron Man puts him out, and he thinks he's out, and then he's going to put the detonator on the guardsman, and Captain America is just looking at him. And then the artwork, like I said, was terrific, especially the scene when you see Iron Man's eyes look sad, and you see the reflection of Captain America just staring, and it even says like they know the link they've had may never be the same.
Yep,
I think
things
that part
are different.
Yeah, that part was just incredible, and yeah, and then also the one when we see, what was it? The name of Jack Haggard, I believe the guy's name, who was in it, Firepower, or
the guy with the nuclear bomb strapped to his back. Firepower, yes. What Firepower. A name!
Yeah, that's okay. That's kind of a cheap name, but yeah, the part where we think Iron Man's blown up, and we look and we just see that
by a nuclear detonation.
Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of good action, a lot of good story, and some fun cameos. Like I said, we saw Michael J. Fox in there. Hey, we saw
the Avengers from Miami Vice.
Yeah, the Avengers. We saw Don Johnson in there. He was dressed as Sonny Crockett, from Miami Vice. I thought those are fun little cameos in the Iron Man. But overall, the main thing is Iron Man Armor Wars. I thought was a terrific story. If you're an Iron Man fan, I think this is a must read. Even a comic book fan, this is a story I definitely recommend for everyone. I do think I was expecting more a little bit out of the ending, not so much counting the epilogue because it's an epilogue. I thought it was fine for an epilogue, but I think the last villain, I was expecting more of a bigger villain instead of just Firepower kind of thrown there. And then when Iron Man had the new outfit, beat him rather easily. So that was my one little negative thing about it.
Let it up to be something awesome, and then you're like, well,
okay. Yeah, that was my one little letdown. But other than that, like I said, I love the story. I love the artwork. I think it's an incredible story, a must read, and I give Iron Man Armor Wars a 9.6 out of 10.
9.6, right on, Sonny.
So there we go, a 9.6 for me, an 8.5 for Tim.
Yeah,
and that wraps up our discussion. Or unless there's anything else you'd like to say.
No, I can't agree with you more. I think this is a must read for any Iron Man fan, and this is a major storyline in Marvel history. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's worth a read.
Yes, it is. So that wraps up our discussion for Iron Man Armor Wars. And now, Tim, it is time for you to pick out our next big story arc that we will be reviewing in the next few weeks to come.
I've got it right here, and I think this is one that Jamie's going to be excited with, because I know he's already read it, but Sonny, you haven't read it, and I haven't read it, and it is Flash Rebirth, issues 1 through 6.
Okay. There you go, Flash Rebirth 1 through 6.
Yep.
We'll get onto that within the upcoming weeks. So looking forward to it.
Right on.
And Tim, we've gone over so much today. We had so much comic news over the past weeks. We can forget about our Do You Know? We had a topic of the week. We had On the Hunt, our works, and we reviewed Iron Man Armor Wars.
Lots of stuff today, guys. Lots of stuff.
Yes, and now we can wrap it up. I say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff that Tim says better than I do. But thank you again, and we will see you on more episodes of the Codex Podcast and more things from the Codex Station.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Comic Character of the Day Facebook group. We are all in there. Go ahead and check it out. If you're not a member of that, you need to be. It's a great community, great place to go and have conversation about comic books. Lots of awesome people in there, including myself and this wonderful guy over here. Yeah, we're all there, so go take a peek. If you want to find us, the Codex Station, that's real easy to do. You can go to your favorite social media platform. That may be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, or any one of a number of other podcast streaming platforms or live streaming platforms. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station. That's where we are. If you don't want to do any of that, we got a website. Yeah, it's that easy. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and there we are. thecodexstation.com. Merchandise, all kinds of information, great things to see, wonderful place to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't say any more, so we're going to get the heck out of here. My name is Tim. This guy over here is the immortal Sonny Kruger. This is the Codex Podcast. We are the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.